Welcome to EDU World Space.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of go out of order and do the ones that I think are the fastest in order to solve. Okay, so first of all, for um, number 9, the answer is C because this is the formula for the lateral area of a right circular cone. So that is the formula that fits the, of a right circular cone. Then I would have to divide that by 3. And so this, if it's a cone, then it would be, sorry, that one. I was thinking of volume. So it would be this one. So that is B. Then for number 1, for the frustum of a regular hexagonal pyramid, so what I did was I drew a hexagon, which has 6 sides. And then I drew the top piece. And if you notice, this can be broken up. So this is 5 and this is 8.5. And we can break these up into trapezoids. And so the formula that I used was 6, because it has 6 sides, times 8.5 plus 5, divide that by 2. And then what I did was, didn't mean the equal sign. You multiply that by the height, and then the area is 100, this lateral area is 160 meters squared. So then I start solving for this. So I do 6 times 6.75 times the height. Then I equals 160. And then what I did was I multiplied the 6 times the 6.75 to get 40.5. H equals 160. Then I divided by 40.5. So for the height, I got 3.95. So that would be B. Then for the regular square pyramid with the altitude of 12 meters and a volume of 196. So it wanted to know what the slant height of the pyramid was. So what I did was, so for the formula, it's S squared times the height of 12 divided by 3, and that equals 196. So I can simplify this. So I would have S squared, or 4S squared, equals 196. Then if I divide both sides by 4, I would have S squared 196 divided by 4 is 49. And then the square root of 49, S equals 7. And so that's number 2, 7 meters. So that's A. Then for number 3, what I had to do was, it gives me the height of 8 meters. So then what I had to do was I had to find the slant height. So it was 8 squared plus 8 squared because it's 45 degrees, which means that the height and the length, or both sides of the right triangle, are the same. And so that equals 128. And then the square root of 128 equals 11.3. And then it's 4 triangles times 11.3 times 8. Divide that by 2. And that equals 181. And so the 8 and the 2 simplify, so that's 4. And then I do 4 times 11.3 times 4. And 4 times 11.3 times 4, and that's 180.8. And then number 3, the answer is 180. So that's A. Then for number 4, For number 4, the lateral edge of the square prism is 20 centimeters long. It's inclined at an angle of 60 degrees with the base. If it's the volume of the prism is 1,1200 centimeters cubed, determine the base edge. So for number 4, what I had to do is I found the length of that. And so basically, here's 60. And then what I had to do, this was 20, so this is 11.54. And so then I took 1,200 divided by 11.54, and I get 103. And then the square root of 103 equals 10.1. So 10 centimeters, B is the answer. Number 5, I'm going to put number 5 here because number 5 didn't need a lot of work. So number 5, the area equals 110.85. And then what I did was I did 110.85, and then the formula is the square root of 3a squared. So if I divide by the square root of 3 on both sides, I got approximately 64. So then I have to find the square root of 64, which is 8, equals A. So that's A. Number 6. The lateral area of a right circular cylinder is 90 centimeters squared and its volume is 225 centimeters squared. Find its radius. So first of all, you have two formulas. The lateral area of a cylinder is 2 times pi times the radius times the height. And the lateral area is 90 centimeters. So 90 equals 2 times pi times the radius times the height. And then I have the volume, which equals 225, and that equals pi times the radius squared times the height. And you had to find the radius. And so what I did was I plugged each one of these numbers in, and I found out that if I did 90, if I did 90 equals 2 times pi times the radius of 5 times the height, I would get a height of 2.87 equals the height. And then I said, well, if I plug 5 into this formula, so would I get the same one? And it pi times 5 squared times the height. And so I got 2.87 equals the height. So the correct answer is C, 5. Then for number 7, it wants you to find the lateral area of the cylinder with a height of 300 and a base radius of 100. So you do 2 times pi times the radius of 100 times 300 height, and then you get lateral area equals 188,495, or 496, I'm sorry, if you round to the nearest whole number, so that would be B. And last but not least, number 8, it was a right circular cylinder with an altitude of 40 centimeters and a base diameter of 30 centimeters, has a right circular cone on the top of the base. If the cone is 60 centimeters high, determine its lateral area. So you are going to do the lateral area equals 3.14 times 15 is the radius if the diameter is 30. Then you're going to multiply that by, and you had to find the slant height. So if the cone had an altitude of 60 centimeters high and it had a diameter of 15, then you would do 3,600 plus 225. You would get 3,825, and then find the square root of that is 61.8. So I do times 61.8 is my slant height. And then when I multiply all three of those numbers together, I would get 2,914.45. So C would be my answer. So I hope that this video helps. This is the middle school math teacher signing out.